Hi, welcome to Spotlight on the Arts. I'm Jay Handelman, the arts editor and theater critic at the Sarasota Herald-Tribune. I'm here with my colleague Carrie Seidman. We've been told we might have to stop along the way because there have been some technical issues with the sound, but apparently we're doing fine as we start, and as soon as we get into it, we're going to have to shut up or something. But there's lots going on, and so why don't we just get started before the sound goes out?
And we'll start with the final program of the Sarasota Ballet season. They are doing, as usual, a triple bill of works. Originally was scheduled something from Ninette de Valois, something from Frederick Ashton, of course, their go-to guy, and something from, what's the third one?
Jerome Robbins.
Sorry, Jerome Robbins. That's the one I'm most looking forward to. The Ashton work had to be postponed. They were going to premiere a work called Apparitions, and has a pretty involved set, and they just couldn't get it together in time to do it this season. So in swapping out that, they are doing two George Balanchine pieces, one which they've done previously, which is a little lively duet called Tarantella. And the second one is called Valse Fantasie, and they have not done that one before. And then they will be doing de Valois' Checkmate, which they did many years ago before I came to Sarasota.
I'm pretty sure I saw that before.
Yeah. And then, of course, Jerome Robbins' Fancy Free, which is the ballet work that was made into the Broadway musical hit On the Town. So lots to look forward to. End of the season, and it's rumored that they may actually announce some of their next season, which they've yet to do. So,
well, I'm looking forward to this because I've seen On the Town many times, and I've always heard about Fancy Free, and have never been anywhere where it was being performed at least by a company that I would want to watch. So I'm very excited.
And
to see this.
I've never seen On the Town, and I've seen the movie, but I've never seen theatrically On the Town. But I've seen Fancy Free several times.
And that's at the Opera House this weekend, right?
Yeah, at the Opera House, Friday through Sunday.
Because at the FSU Center for the Performing Arts, the Oslo Repertory Theater is opening or beginning the preview period for a brand new world premiere musical called Beatsville. So obviously the ballet can't be performing there.
Do you want me to snap my fingers now?
Yeah, I've been having a little pain. I don't know if it's arthritis or I'm getting older.
Has a trigger finger, so he wanted me to do the snapping for him.
It's a musical that is set in the beatnik era of Greenwich Village in 1959. It's based on Roger Corman's movie A Bucket of Blood. And Roger Corman also inspired his movie Little Shop of Horrors, inspired a very long-running musical hit. So the creators are not comparing one to the other, but they wouldn't mind if Beatsville turned into something that gets produced everywhere around the world.
They wouldn't mind. Yeah.
I hope it's that good. It's a jazzy score, and they were looking for something that would fit. The composer Wendy Wilth was hoping to find something that would suit the kind of music she wanted to write, which is jazz is not usually heard in Broadway-style musicals. Right. And so this previews began. We'll probably talk about it again next week because that's when I get to see it. But they're having a long period of previews so they can work out some kinks and get some audience reaction to what's going on. So that begins on Saturday, and the show is going to continue through May 28th.
And there are a number of organizations that are kind of wrapping up their seasons, and another is the Venice Symphony that'll be doing a performance this weekend that focuses on Viennese composers. So they're doing some Brahms, some Strauss, and some von Weber, which is maybe a lesser-known composer. And they'll be led by their interim musical director or conductor, Imre Palo, who will be doing his final concert with them. Jay, you have a story coming Sunday, I guess, that talks about next season and how they'll be kind of auditioning a number of different conductors.
7 different conductors. There'll be 7 programs, and each one will be led by a different conductor. Almost all of them are music directors of different orchestras of various sizes around the country,
so sort of like the Sarasota Orchestra did when they were looking before they selected Anu Tali.
So you can read all about those different people this weekend. We'll introduce them to you and tell you about the programs we'll be doing.
Right, and you can catch those final concerts Friday and Saturday at the Venice Performing Arts Center. Emery Paulo is doing some talks before the concerts, so the concerts start at 7:30, and I think the talks start at 6:15.
Right.
So it might be worth going a little early to catch those.
I don't know what we're going to talk about once all these performing arts groups end their seasons, but the Players Center is ending its season beginning tonight with the comedy, the French comedy Boeing Boeing. Doesn't sound French, but it's Marc Camilotti's play. It's been around since the 60s. It's one of the most popular farces produced in the world about a swinging bachelor who is juggling 3 flight attendant girlfriends, and he keeps close track of their flight schedules so they never meet. A friend comes to visit, and all hell breaks loose, basically, because somebody's flight is canceled, and so this friend gets roped into helping keep his buddy out of trouble, I guess. There was a cast change at the Players. Jared Weldon has taken over the role of Robert, who is the swinger bachelor, and I'm told that he's using the script still for at least a couple more days, so we'll see how that goes. And Ross Boehringer, who is one of the better actors in the community theaters, is playing his friend Bernard, who is the one who gets wrapped up in all the mayhem. And it's being directed by Kyle Turoff and her father, Bob Turoff. And that's opening tonight and running through May 7th at the Players Center. So it hopefully will be a funny evening, because that's what it's supposed to be.
And another organization wrapping up its season, the Artist Series Concerts of Sarasota, is hosting a free concert this weekend, although tickets are required, but it is free admission. That is the finale of their 2017 National Piano Competition. So they will have 4 up-and-coming 18 to 25-year-old pianists playing, which I find always really exciting to hear the fresh crowd coming in. And at the end of the performance, one of them will be declared the winner, and the winner gets $8,000 prize. So that's Saturday night at the Beatrice Friedman Symphony Center, which is at the orchestra's home, administrative home.
And it's free, too, I believe, right?
Yeah, it is free, although it says that tickets are required, so you have to go register or give them your name or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are a few other things happening I want to mention briefly at Free Fall Theater in St. Petersburg, one of my favorite places to go. They're opening a play called End of the Rainbow, which is about the end of the life of Judy Garland. It's in her right before she dies, and it stars Melissa Minyard, who has done some shows in Sarasota. It's been a while as Judy Garland, and she sings songs. But it's a play with music, and the national tour of a very highly acclaimed revival of The King and I is opening at the Strass Center on Tuesday, so that might be worthwhile seeing. And I also want to mention that I just saw Kinky Boots at the Van Wezel. The national tour is here until Sunday. I know the ticket sales have been very strong, but there are some seats available. It is a lot of fun. It's based on a British movie about a guy who inherits his family's dying shoe business, and he's trying to figure out how to save it, and he gets talked into turning it into a factory that produces strong boots for drag queens.
Stiletto boots. And by the end of the show, they're all wearing them. And but it was a lot of fun. It has a score by Cyndi Lauper and book by Harvey Fierstein, and it deserves some of the Tony Awards it won, I think, from what I experienced the other night. So worth checking out. So even though things are starting to slow down in the arts world here, there's still a lot to choose from, and we'll have more stories in Sunday's paper, including a story that I wrote about diversity in community theater and casting, which is kind of was an interesting subject. So please check that out, or find us at heraldtribune.com/ticket or /arts, and we will see you next week.
Take care.
Are we done?